Welcome to the Oddity Shop, where the bizarre is always on sale.
Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the Oddity Shop. This is the podcast where we tell you creepy, weird, mysterious, cultish, cursed stories from around the world. I'm here with the one and only Kara. How are you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
Oh, just dandy, I guess.
We both feel like shit.
Yeah, we're going on low energy each, but it's still kind of like the best part of the day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I got my Sam and Colby merch in today, so that's good.
Which ones did you buy?
I only bought one because it was expensive. I got the flannel.
Nice.
So it's the flannel and it has they wore it in the first episode.
Is it the one with
the,
like bloody bunny on it?
No, it's
Okay,
just
good.
a black. I wish I had it by me. It's like a black and white checked flannel. It's just like pretty normal flannel. And then on the back, it has that fortune teller skeleton thing on it.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
The psychic reading, whatever. It's just all white. It's cool. I think Colby was wearing it in the first episode. I meant to text you and be like, I bought that.
Your delivery was way more fun than mine today.
Oh, I also got my new phone. I'm more excited about Sam and Colby merch.
Nice. Yeah. I just got a pallet of shingles delivered. Super exciting.
At least there's not squirrels in your walls.
No more squirrels in my walls. And after next week, no more water leaking into the house. Oh my God. I'm over it. Don't buy a house, everyone.
I have one thing that I meant to text you last night.
Ooh.
If we have 6 friends, which I don't know.
Uh-oh. Well, we're already out.
Right. If we have 6, they don't have to be friends. We have 6 people. We can investigate overnight at the Conjuring house, and it would only be $200 a person. It has to be on a Sunday.
Bro, we're still trying to find people for Eloise here in Michigan.
I know. However, if you and I just want to go on like a day toury type of thing, then it's only $200 for each of us.
That's not bad. I want to stay the night, though.
So then it's like $1,200.
Well, we'll have to go at least in a couple months because I finally started reading House of Darkness, House of Light, and it's going to take me a while to get through them, but it's pretty good so far. Although I'm like 70 pages in and they're just starting to move into the house.
Yeah, it's really funny that you said that because I was listening to the 2 Girls, 1 Ghost episode with Andrea on it, and she was talking about her books. And she's like, they're hard.
Honestly, I've read some other books from people in the paranormal community, and she is a very good writer. She writes it feels like you're reading a fiction book. Just because it's written in third person, and she has good skill for it, but it is very detailed through every
actually
event.
Do you know what's really funny? That's actually how she described it. She goes, it's extremely detailed. So like it's not like an easy read, like an ease.
No, I'm liking it so far. It's really cool to get all the background that you get to understand the Conjuring house better, but
yeah.
It's going to take me a minute to get through them.
I just wanted to let you know how much money it is.
All right. Well, I'll start saving after I put this damn roof on. And 2024. We need to just plan, like, at this point, an entire haunted road trip.
Well, that too, but
we now have Rhode Island and California.
Well, I did start writing down all the things that we actually need to do this year. Like like just so we know exactly what's going on. Like the oddity. What is it called? Oddities and Curiosities. Whatever.
Oh, I'm not going back to that. So we do need to like put all of the events on paper.
Like protesting Nain Rouge with Tenny.
Yes.
I really want to do that.
We should. That's in March.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay.
What do you got today?
I think I know your answer because I think have shared to us, but what's the weirdest thing that you've received? And I think it was because what did somebody leave on your front porch? It's just coming to me now that this is probably the weirdest thing that.
Yeah, it was that alien sign thing.
Oh, yeah. And you don't even know if it was meant for you, do you?
We think it was. I think it was like sort of, remember like old Halloween, you used to like drop the bag of candy or whatever, and you're supposed to like put it to the next person. I think that's kind of
what was that called? Booed? You got booed?
I think it was. Yeah, I think you just got like a boo basket. I think it was something similar to that, but it was still just super weird and no explanation. Let me try to think of something else. So there was one day where I got a box of art supplies and canvas and like a ton of acrylic paints, a whole paint set and everything just delivered to my door with my name on it.
Weird.
And I had no idea. I started asking everyone like if they'd sent it to me. It was near Christmas, so I thought maybe it was like a Christmas gift. I don't know.
How long ago was this?
This was last year. It was my boss.
I do not remember this.
Who sent it to me because the office, I work remote from my office. So they were all doing like a wine and paint night and she wanted me to feel included. So she sent it all to me, but then forgot to say anything. So for like a day and a half, I'm just like, where did this paint shit like come from? Like, who is this from?
I don't know if you ever told me that. That's really funny.
Yeah, it was definitely a little bit weird, but yeah, no, it was nice to be like included. But it did take me a minute to figure out where a ton of paint shit came
And that's
from.
such a random thing to just get. Even if it was a Christmas present, you're like, I don't paint.
Right.
Like, who thought?
Once every couple of years, like I'll go out and buy canvas and paint and stuff. And everyone, like once in a while for Christmas, my mom will get me something like that because, you know, she thinks that every piece of art I've ever done is like, you know,
except for the Snoopy ornament.
We love the Snoopy ornament. Fuck off. Okay. What about you? What's the weirdest thing you ever got?
I have no idea. I don't know if I've forgotten
what
anything.
was that thing you got like 2 months ago? The chargers? Didn't you just get like randomly chargers?
Oh, yeah. Oh my God. I totally forgot about that.
It was like from a made up place in California.
Yes. So I got this really weird, like small little envelope-y like package, like almost the size of like your hand or smaller than your hand. And I'm like, what the hell is this? And I had my name on it and I opened it and it's like a pink, green, and purple cable that was all connected and have like it separated like with the different charging styles on the one end. And I'm like, what the fuck? Like, I would never buy this ever. And then you told me that, what did you tell me? That sometimes Amazon companies will just send random people that just so it looks like they've sold it, or what was it?
They'll do that and then ask for the review. So you get like a free product, they get the review, and then their product sells better.
I didn't get anything that said
because wasn't it from like Wizard of Oz Way or something weird like that?
I don't know. Yeah, it was something so bizarre. I should look up the picture. It was so random, and I looked it up. I Googled
it, and it seemed like a lot of people were getting just random objects.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's funny. I'm glad you remember that. All right. Are you ready?
I got you.
Okay.
I'm ready.
What is a rabbit hole? The topic that we're going to talk about is a rabbit hole in my freaking brain.
Uh-oh.
Okay. If you've been here for the past year, then you know I have a bit of a fear or a thought that at some point someone will secretly be living in my home, like in my walls.
Yeah.
So this has brought me to a new issue of people not finding people secretly living in their house, but secret rooms.
Ooh, I'm here for a secret room.
This is like more common than you would think, and it's really disturbing to me.
I love it.
Okay, this is how my brain went.
Oh, God.
Why would you have a secret room, you might ask?
Why would you have a secret room?
All right. According to SOSS.com, these are a couple reasons. It'll keep the unwanted guests out and you safely inside. So like a panic room type deal.
Okay, I can see that.
A private office that's meant to remain private. So I guess you really feel like you're not working from home. Like it's completely private. Weird. But, you know.
But just close the door?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Hiding data items in plain sight, things that you don't necessarily need all the time, like a mini bar, a laundry room, walk-in closet. So it just like looks like it's not there.
I feel like that'd be so cool to have like a hidden bar in your house.
Okay.
Like your own little speakeasy.
So my next thing was, what secret room would you have? And you already answered it.
Either that or like I've always wanted one of those the doors that look like a bookcase, you know, and you pull a book and then it opens. I don't know what would be.
Yeah, but it could go into a speakeasy.
Oh, that would be badass.
That would be really cool.
Ooh, I have the perfect book to use as a lever too. It's a cocktail cookbook. Okay. I don't know, but it's called Gone with the Gin. Just pull that one in the door. Oh, I have plans. Okay, go on.
Anyway, here's the rabbit hole that I went down. So obviously, secret rooms. Now, I want to clarify that I'm not talking about secret gardens and hidden fucking laundry rooms. I'm talking bizarre, creepy, unexplainable rooms that people accidentally found.
I'm so ready for this.
Okay, here we go. So I'm going to tell you some stories.
Right.
A man found a locked door that was in a small crawl space in his new home. Oh my God, I can't even. Can you imagine you're just like, there's a little crawl space and you're like, wait, if I cross through there, there's a door. Ew.
No.
Ugh. In the room, he found a briefcase and a suitcase-style safe. Do you know what I'm talking about? It almost looks like a gun.
Yeah.
And it locks. So it's not like your standard like money safe. It's like a suitcase.
Right. Like an attaché case.
Sure, that. The briefcase had letters and a small box that had 2 watches and 2 rings. Nothing too crazy.
Okay.
It looks like just some keepsakes, maybe some secret letters or, that are dear to your heart that you want to savor.
Got it.
Now, like I said, keepsakes sounds fine. The safe opened up and on the top of it said, "Do not," in all caps. That's it. Do not. That's weird. Okay.
Just do not.
That's it. Do not.
Do not what?
I don't know. So that's on the when you open it, that's what you see.
That's so ambiguous.
I know.
How could you not?
I know. In it was a bunch of tapes. 6 tapes to be exact. They were labeled 1, 94.
No.
2, 95. 3, 95. 4, 95. And 5. So what I will clarify is that the 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 are all in Roman numerals. And then it would say like 94 with like the apostrophe symboling that it's like a year.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then 1 was unlabeled. And then written on the top of 1, very distressedly, over and over and over again, was the word no.
I'm gonna pull a straight up Kara here and just be like, I don't like this.
I hated it. And you see pictures, like there's pictures to this, and it's really creepy. Okay. Also, there was a note in there, just like a paper, ripped out paper book note. And it looked like almost like dripping black ink, but it's not purposely dripping. It's just like frantically weird. And it read, "Save yourself."
Would
Yeah.
you watch them? I wouldn't watch them.
Well, they were cassette tapes to listen to, or what are they?
Oh,
You know what they're called.
cassettes?
Yeah, is it just cassettes? But aren't they like an 8-track? What are those called?
Well, a cassette is a cassette. An 8-track would go into an 8-track.
Yeah, never mind. You know what I'm talking about. Little cassettes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Are you talking like the mini cassettes, like from old voice recorders, not like the...
No, like my first one was Michael Jackson.
Oh,
Thriller
yeah,
that
okay.
I put in my
no, those are
boombox.
just called cassettes.
Okay, that's what I thought, but then it didn't sound right. He didn't listen to the tapes because he didn't have anything to listen to them with.
Okay.
And I'd give them to you and be like, you listen to these to me. Listen to these to me. Listen to these for me.
There you go.
If there's anything I need to know, if not, don't let me worry about it. I would have moved it out as quickly as I moved in. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't like that. Do we know what's on them, though?
No, that's just where the article left off. He did not listen to them.
How, like...
Right?
I wouldn't want to, but also my curiosity.
I'd
I feel
have
like
to.
One night after a few too many drinks, I would. We could convince Aaron to listen to them because he doesn't believe in any weird stuff.
No, he believes in it. He's just super terrified. He really wouldn't do it. We'd have to get somebody else. Julia.
Nick.
Both of them together.
Yes.
Okay. So that one's really unsettling. Are you ready?
Okay. I agree.
Now we're different person, different home. Imagine you're looking at a potential home to buy. And as a side note, no one is living in this house. So it's not a lived in home. You have no idea.
Got it.
Like, you know what I mean?
So basically my job.
Yeah. Okay. So you're in the basement and you know how there sometimes is like under the stairs, it's closed off.
Yeah.
So you could put like storage under there, like with a door, but it's like storage. You can hide your shit.
Right. The Harry Potter closet.
Sure. So there's that. Well, not here. It's not for storage, at least, because it's labeled Joshua's room, which now you could think that as a child, if this wasn't used as storage, you could use it as like your secret, like cool room to hang out in. Cause like, I get that. That'd be cool. And I would hope that it wouldn't actually be a child's bedroom under there. Cause that would be kind of, like neglectful, I think.
Like literally a Harry Potter closet.
Yeah. So the brick walls were covered with scribbled messages though. And rules. And the rules are like in kids' handwriting, and they say no watching Isaiah through the hole. No writing or drawing on the walls, which obviously.
Didn't listen to that one.
And then the other one was, stop watching me.
Oh, I don't like that.
Yeah.
Because who is that for?
I don't know. But that's already really creepy. And then the couple noticed that in the stairs from inside Joshua's room, if you will, looking out were little peepholes.
I'm not buying that house.
They didn't.
Good. Good on them.
But how ick.
Yeah, it doesn't give me a warm feeling.
Okay, moving on. Joshua. No, we're done with Joshua in his fucking room. Jason and Carrie started renovations on their home in 2005. They discovered a passageway behind a bookcase, kind of like what you were talking about.
I love it.
This is so weird to me. So inside, they found a typed note, and that's all they found in there. And this is what it said. Hello, if you're reading this, then you found the secret room. I owned this house for a short while, and it was discovered to have a serious mold problem that actually made my children very sick, at the point that we had to move out. So I advise you to check into this. If you'd like to send a message, I'd love to hear who eventually got this house, because I really liked this house and have fond memories in it. I can also tell you about the mold problem. I can be reached by email. Welcome to the 21st century at, and then his email is like blah, 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 blah. Just put 6 Whiten Street in the subject line so I do not delete the email. Sincerely, George. 7/15/2004.
Oh, okay. George, I got a couple problems here. First of all, George, if you didn't rent and you actually owned and sold this place, great job breaking the law, because if you knew about the mold problem, you needed to put it on your property disclosure.
Here's what ended up happening. He did, and then the realtor didn't say anything. So this couple actually sued and won.
Ah, see, I knew that's where it was going.
So this wasn't
First of all,
as
though, why
weird.
are we talking about real estate things after work?
So this wasn't as like creepy. It was just that they found this home and then we're like, oh my God. And then they found like that their house was actually had a mold problem. But I think this poor guy probably felt so guilty about them not saying anything when he was trying to sell this house that he was like, well, I have a secret room, so I'm just going to leave this letter and see what happens.
And then you get sued. Just remediate the mold.
Well, he didn't get sued. The realtor did.
He is very lucky he didn't.
From my understanding, he told the realtor all about this. From my understanding.
Yeah. Well, that's why now in 2023, we can't fill out a property disclosure for a seller. They have to fill it out themselves. Anyways.
Perfect.
Real estate tidbit.
Okay. Let's move on to Reddit.
Yes.
Dun, dun, dun. Okay. I was working at a 100-plus-year-old abandoned farmhouse several years ago. My coworker and I were to find the well for the house, since they were thinking about developing the property. After looking for a while, we figured it might be in the old house. I grabbed my flashlight and we headed through a window that wasn't boarded up very well. The place was creepy. The second floor had burned goat carcasses and pentagrams drawn in ash all over the walls. So that started the chills and goosebumps. We eventually made it to the basement, where I almost fell into a very deep well at the end of the steps. Not sure how deep it was, but our 25-inch tape measure wouldn't hit the bottom. Anyway, my curiosity was still running wild.
Who only has a 25-inch tape measure?
I don't know. This is what it says.
Inch or foot?
I don't know. Maybe it's supposed to be foot. I'm
hope
reading
so.
literally from Reddit. What do you expect?
Okay.
Maybe it's supposed to be foot.
I'm going to go with foot.
Okay. So my curiosity was still running wild. So we went searching around the basement. My coworker noticed that one of the stone walls didn't go up to the floor joist, and he pointed out that it was probably a fake wall. Ew.
Ooh.
Good call on his part. He boosted me up over the wall, and I helped him climb over. The first room was empty and nothing exciting. Just dark, wet, and cold. Looking around, there was another wall with an opening. I decided to go first again, and I was boosted over the wall. My coworker thought it would be funny to hang on to my flashlight for a while I stumbled in the dark. I'd kill you. Because I imagine you did that to me.
I so would.
Finally, he tossed it over to me, and that's when I began freaking out. Why did I say it like that? Freaking out.
Freaking out.
The room had chains built into the walls with wrist and ankle shackles. The walls had scratch marks from nails, I'm guessing, or something trying to escape.
No.
I lasted about 30 seconds in the room before I got before I got that, oh my God, what the hell is wrong with me? Before I started my dash over both walls, the well, and right out of the window we climbed through to get out of the creepy house. I didn't think it was just the shackles or the scratch marks that creeped me out, but the ice cold chills that ran down my spine. Like there was something truly evil lurking in that place. And that's from Reddit user Evan Ford.
Whatever happened in that room definitely would leave some terrible energy behind.
If you first walk in and you see dead goat carcasses and like pentagrams all over with ash, I'm out.
Yeah, that would be enough for me to walk away at first too.
Yeah, I'm not climbing over no walls, secret ones.
Maybe put like the camera over there just to see, but I'm not crawling over myself.
Oh yeah, that's a good idea, just to like peep over there.
See, that's why I'm the ideal guy.
Okay. All right. One Halloween after we lived in our house for about 8 years, a dad taking his kids trick-or-treating. I'm sorry, I cannot read today.
No.
A dad taking his kids trick-or-treating stopped at the end of our driveway and complimented us on our house. The original house was over 100 years old, but when we bought it and had it remodeled, extensively. He said that as a kid, he was always terrified of the house and the old lady that lived here. I would die. He then proceeded to tell us about how when he was a teenager, he and his friends would dare one another to go into the woods behind our house, dig up the dirt over the trap door, and climb down the ladder to the tunnel that led to a door in our basement.
What?
Yes. Needless to say, we checked out our basement, the part from the original house, and sure enough, behind the furnace is a bricked over doorway. We've searched the woods a bit, but haven't found the trapdoor or the tunnel. The oddest bit of all, when my kids were very young, before we learned about the tunnel, they would never cross the room directly above the basement wall where the door was. They said Ghosty lived in the wall and she scared them.
Oh, that's definitely a portal room.
Yup, Reddit user Salisbury Hills. Could you imagine, though, a random man just like being like, hey, trick or treat. Oh, by the way, I used to climb in the trap door in the woods that leads to your basement.
First of all, you should never admit to any stranger that you've broken into their house, because that just is going to make you feel uncomfortable no matter what. But yeah, having somebody come and tell you that you have a trap door to your house that you don't even know exists. Did they block the door off in the basement?
Yeah, so they had lived there for 8 years and never even knew this until, what did they say? I think it was behind. Oh, behind the furnace is a bricked over doorway that they had never realized.
Okay, you did say that. You did.
Could you imagine?
No, I mean, it's nice to know you have like that escape hatch if need be, but I don't know. I guess I'd rather know about it than not know.
Yeah, but 8 years later, that whole time.
Yeah. But the way like the kids won't cross over, it definitely gives us like some sort of portal-y vibe.
Yeah, because Ghosty, the evil woman. Ugh, I got a couple more for ya.
I love that they named her Ghosty, like literally how we would name our pets as kids. Like I had a Dalmatian named Patches, or a dog that was, you know, a part golden retriever, and we named her Goldie. Like you just name things exactly as they are.
It so reminds me of the Conjuring house, Manny, because he was a man. It's just so cute. Manny.
True that.
What's his actual name? Joe? Joseph?
Joe. Yep.
Joe. All right. Are you ready?
Yes.
Okay. When my brother and I were kids, we found a floor hatch in his room. It was hidden under the linoleum and tightly shut, but we managed to get it open. Underneath was a flight of stairs leading to a single room with cement walls and nothing in it except a bed frame and a small table. The realtor who sold our family the house had no idea it existed, and neither had the people who lived in it before us, or else we would have asked about it. Still don't know why it was hidden or what it was for. The house is from the 1830s. My child brain at the time assumed that it was where garden gnomes lived.
Oh,
that's from
favorite.
Reddit. I know. That's from Reddit user Mosley Lane. I literally only wanted to read that because it said garden gnomes, and I was like, Denise would have a whole room for garden gnomes. That's probably more of like a what do they call them? Like a panic room, right. I would think.
By the way, Denise did gift me and Nick Halloween gnomes. You did not get one though, for good reason.
That's fine. Speaking of that, that's really funny because Nick was snapping randomly a couple weeks ago, little gnome somewhere, like cute little Halloween stuff. It wasn't to me, it was on his story. But I had messaged him and said, you need to buy that gnome for Denise. And he's like, oh my God, that's a good idea. I don't know if he did, but that's really funny because it's probably the one that she got you guys.
That's hilarious.
Anyway, so that one's still really creepy, but I'm sure it was probably more of like a panic room. But the fact that people don't know about it creeps me out. Like, how long did the previous owners live there and they had no idea?
I've done a couple showings where we've come across panic rooms, and like they're never put in the listing, and it's super freaking weird when you find it and you're like, oh, all right, well, here's this one that sticks out to me the most was one that had like a hot tub inside, but it like the whole house smelled like pool because of it. The entire house was tiled, and there was not like a master bedroom. It was 100% an 80s swinger house.
I was just going to say
the whole thing had swinger vibes. And then you went into the basement, there was like a workroom, blah, blah, blah. There's kind of like a little pantry off that.
Mm-hmm.
Then there was a false door. And when you open it, they had left it unlocked, obviously, because they were showing it. But so it was like hidden, but not really. But that door, when you open it, it was a safe. And you walked into about a like 15 foot by 15 foot safe that you could close and lock behind you. Like with like the big like bank window, you know what I mean? Like, okay, it's literally their panic room was a giant safe built into the basement. It was crazy.
Interesting. Okay, moving on. A couple years ago, I rented an apartment that was in a massive old architectural style building. No idea how old it was. I remember when I did the showing, they showed me a door that had an elaborate staircase that went straight up to the ceiling and explained that it went to an attic, which was sealed up. Which reminds me of the Winchester Mystery House, just like a staircase to nothing. When I was finally moving out, curiosity got the best of me, and I pushed up the panel at the top of the stairs until it popped open, and I hoisted myself up there. It was completely dark, and the floor was covered in at least an inch of dust. And I found that it was an entire extra floor to my unit.
Yeah, why would you wait till the last day? I would have been in there day one.
I know. There was an old, rotting furniture and magazines littered throughout the rooms. I eventually found a small hole in one of the walls that went into a sealed off upstairs of the unit that was next to mine and decided to go through that one too. I found a smaller hole at the back end of the area that led to the next one. I eventually made my way through about 5 or 6 of the sealed off spaces that had no entrances save these. That doesn't make sense. No entrances save these small holes in drywall.
Yeah.
I don't know what they were talking about.
It's just an old way, like no entrances other than.
Okay. The farther I went in, the older the furniture I found. Fridges from the 50s or earlier, old dishware, and so much dust over everything. The last unit was the most interesting. Hand-painted scenes on the walls and holes to the attic letting sunlight stream in. I took small videos, but they're all on Snapchat, so it's hard for me to post. I must have been up there for hours just exploring alone in the dark. I was pretty lucky to have the only room with access there. That's from Reddit user Philoxology. I was going to say she, I have no idea. They actually posted the videos. It's really creepy. Can you imagine the farther you get, the later in time it goes? Because she said each room that she went through with like the furniture was older and older. Like it's like
they slowly like blocked it off as they went.
Isn't that weird?
I wonder if it was actually an inch of dust or if they were using the magazines and blown in insulation to try to keep it warm.
Maybe.
Anyways, my real estate is really showing this episode.
I mean, I'm sure it's probably both.
Right.
If it's blocked off, there'd definitely be dust out there. But all right, I got a couple more for you because I couldn't stop rabbit hole, you know?
Did you, and I'll cut this if it was, but did you come across the ones in New York who were finding like complete rooms in their apartments behind mirrors and shit?
Okay, I didn't find that one because that's eventually at one point got me down this rabbit hole forever ago, but I couldn't find it again. So yeah, pipe in when you have a second on that.
I'll just leave that in.
Anyway, we bought a house that was built in the 1880s. Lived in it for 7 years and then had to have some wiring work done. The electrician was working down in the basement and wanted to drill through a brick wall to the outside for some reason I no longer remember. Love the honesty. We gave him the okay and go about our business. He starts drilling and then stops, comes upstairs and tells us that he found a bricked up room. And what do we want to do about it? What? Like, I don't even know.
I would be like, immediately take the wall down. I need to see it.
Right. Well, we kind of still want our wiring situation taken care of. But if there's a body or something in there, I definitely want to know. On the other hand, I don't want to let my sister's boyfriend knock down the wall with a sledgehammer. I'm like, I don't know why he was the only one that could do it.
Oh, that'd be so fun, though.
I know. As we are discussing this, the electrician offers to run a scope through the hole. Oh, kind of like you were talking about in the other one. We could have just put a camera over that wall. Yeah. Through the hole and just drilled so we can take a look without doing more damage. Or as he put it, destroying evidence. So our new friend gets a scope and we set up and go down to the basement and watch the monitor. It is a very small space, maybe 3 by 5 feet. Nothing in there but a really old, gross looking plushie. Not a teddy bear, maybe a dog. It was sewed out of some kind of patterned fabric in a vaguely dog-like shape. That's it. Nothing else. Electrician asks us what we want to do about it. I ask if he can seal the hole and just drill because this is definitely now ghost movies, how ghost movies start. He agreed and patched it up, drilled somewhere else and finished the rewiring, and we all continued our lives. We moved out 2 years ago, and as far as I know, Haunted Doggy is still bricked up in the basement of that house. Oh. And that's Reddit user Purple House. That's so weird. Because one singular weird item that just shouldn't be there is so disturbing to me.
So, like, that part is creepy to me, though. It just sounds like an old coal room that used to be boarded up in basements all the time.
Okay, but why was it in there?
That part I can't explain. I can only explain part of it. We rented this house in college that it had like a really big attic, but there was like kind of a partitioned off part of it, and we went in there and there was just like a set of like old boots in there. But it looks like whoever it was just like took them off and then like never touched. It was just so creepy.
That's unsettling.
Not to mention that like the upstairs hallway of that house straight up looked like the Insidious movie. Like the hallway from Insidious. Ugh.
I think I might have mentioned this on a previous episode, and it might have been the one with people living in our walls or whatever. But when we were in elementary school, one of our friends had a creepy attic in their garage. You know how people have like the storage above their garage?
Yeah.
And they never used it. So we were like, hey, let's go up there. And there was just like a one item, and it was a Ouija board.
Yeah, I do remember you saying that. That's funny, though. We joked about leaving one up by the boots.
Yeah, it was so creepy to us. Like, we were so fucking scared. But now I think about it, and it's like there's probably teenagers that lived there, and that's just like where they like went up and hung out and had a Ouija board. But like, it's so creepy.
Right.
One more. Bought a very rugged cabin with acreage a few years back. Cabin was built in the 70s. A friend of mine discovered a large attic, which was surprising. There was no easy way into the attic. I knew there was space, but it did not appear to be as big as it was. Inside the attic was evidence someone was living in there at one point, including a bloodied mattress.
Oh.
Mm-hmm. There were no lights, no comfort, just a sheet blocking off the part of the attic that didn't have some semblance of a floor, and a bloody mattress. This was all above my room. I got a hella weird vibe in the house after that, and an earthquake ended up taking out the cabin shortly after. I tore it apart, salvaged a bunch of wood, and rebuilt a new cabin without the creepy vibes. The most unnerving part about the cabin was the previous owner. Upon finding news I bought the land, came back, and just before I got the keys from the realtor, left a note that simply said, "Good luck," in the center of the living area.
Oh, absolutely not.
Mm-hmm. Just recently found a massive old tree on the landmark that had been previously scorched by a fire decades ago and survived. If that landmark could talk, I'm sure it would have stories. Reddit user CKJM.
See, like, the hidden rooms aren't as creepy as what's
in them.
Yes.
Because there's always weird shit. Okay, we're moving away from Reddit, but my brain kept going. And so after I was like, okay, why do people have secret rooms? And then what are in the secret rooms? I'm like, are there famous secret rooms?
Ooh.
Guess what?
There are?
The answer is yes. So these might not be as creepy, but it's still weird. And obviously they're not as secret as they're known. But I didn't know about these.
All right. I'm intrigued. Hit me.
The Eiffel Tower.
All right. Hold on. Before you say it, let me try to guess. Because I know the top is a restaurant. So is it like one of the bottom of the feet?
So it actually has a secret apartment built in it. So Gustave Eiffel designed the tower and he included an apartment for himself at the very top.
That does sound familiar now that you say it.
Isn't that cool though? Like, hey, you know, I built this shit. I'm just going to pop in an apartment.
Could you imagine how much it would sell for today?
Why don't you pop that champagne? Keep the pouring.
I'm having a little bit of champagne while we record tonight.
Oh, God. Okay.
You got a bottle from work today, okay?
I know. That was another secret delivery you got today.
Hey, oh, yeah. They hit me again. At least this time they warned me that it was coming, though.
That was my straw. We're just having drinks over here. Okay. Mount Rushmore.
Oh, I know about this one.
So,
which is actually like 15 miles away from where I technically work, even though I work remote.
Oh, yeah. So it has a chamber behind Lincoln's head. It was originally intended to house documents and artifacts that were significant to American history, so like the Declaration of Independence or the Constitution. Sadly, that's not where that stuff is now. It's just old records about Mount Rushmore, but it's still really fucking
like,
cool.
Why would you keep the Declaration of Independence in Mount Rushmore?
I don't know.
I mean, it'd be cool.
It is. The concept is really cool to me.
Right.
Okay. The Brooklyn Bridge. The bridge has wine cellars.
What?
In the anchorages. So in the anchorages of the bridge, you know, like the legs, I guess, if you will, there are wine cellars in there.
That's actually kind of cool.
I know. John Roebling was designing it, and he was kind of funded and helped out by liquor vendors, like for the project. So the anchorages of the bridge stay so cool. So he rented out the spots to alcohol vendors. You
know, they do that in Michigan too. In college, I was in a geology class and we took, Founders beer is like from Grand Rapids and huge, obviously. We did this field trip to one of the gypsum mines, and you can go through like the whole old mine. And in one of the first big caverns, there's hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of kegs. And that's where Founders keeps all their beer because it's like no sunlight, cool, basically temperature controlled. Which I think is just like hilarious that we keep our booze like in such weird places.
I just think that's so cool. Like, oh yeah. I
feel like you could probably charge a premium for like Brooklyn Bridge wine.
Right? Okay. And then Lincoln's Memorial, under his feet, there's a 3-story bajillion square foot basement.
I have heard that cool? One.
So it's actually, apparently when they built it, it was more so to be, it has like structural stability under there.
Yeah.
And then I think they did have some sort of stuff in there, but it was kind of forgotten about until fairly recently. And in 2021, they were going to start using it for something. I can't remember, but I was like, that's cool. And then the Supreme Court in Washington, D.C. has a basketball court on the top floor.
I think those geezers are playing basketball.
Apparently they are on their lunch breaks and shit. But it's like a secret top floor of whatever. I could go on and on and on. There were so many famously places that have secret rooms. It's so cool. I just think that secret rooms are just so bizarre. And like you said, it's not necessarily the secret room itself. It's usually what you find in them. So now I'm going to ask you, have you changed your mind, though, on what type of secret room you want? Do you still think it's going to be like a bookcase with a minibar?
100%. Okay. That's what I've always wanted.
Yeah, I like it.
So when my dad was working in London for a while, we got to go a couple times. And one of the times they had actually opened Buckingham Palace to tours. They were showing us like, usually it's like to the right or left of like a fireplace, but there's like the panels, you know, like it's a palace, so you have like the panels on the walls.
Yeah.
Some of those would actually open for the queen to get in and out. So it was never like in the main room.
Like stealthy, like just secretly,
so it'd be like connected to the room that would be like, so ballroom, then there'd be like a parlor, and then that parlor would have an entrance. So she could come and go to like different major areas of.
Okay. That's
palace.
What I would do, because I would want to freak people out. Like if I was having a party though, Like, you know, if they're like talking shit about you and you just like pop through a fucking wall, they don't even know. And you're like, hey, like,
You'd
wait,
be
I
like
thought you went to the
old,
bathroom.
like Scooby-Doo style where it's like a
Exactly.
portrait, but their eyes are your eyes.
Yes. Oh my God. Yes.
I love too, like when people are renovating their houses and they hide like a skeleton somewhere.
Oh, we talked about that because I wanted to do that when we put our new cabinets together. I wanted to put a skeleton in there. So like when eventually somebody redid, there was one story that I found that they found a secret room that was closed off. And when they opened it, there literally was a skeleton in there and they freaked out, but it was a fake one.
One of the best ones I've seen like that though was instead of a skeleton, it just was a note that said, "What's wrong with the way we did it?"
That's funny.
Like you'd only
really
find
good.
it during a remodel.
Yeah, that's really good. So anyway, that is some of the unsettling and weird things that people have found in secret rooms or secret rooms that they found. And now I know that I've renovated this pretty much entire house, but I still think that I might find something. Somehow.
I think you're just paranoid.
That's fine. But the basement, there could be something in there. Like a secret something.
Where?
It's huge. I don't know. It's huge. It could be somewhere.
Oh my God.
There could be a trap door that leads out into the freaking woods. Oh my God.
You live in like suburbia. You'd hit a sewer line before you hit the woods. You're fine.
I'd hit my well water thing.
Oh my God.
So anyway, that's that. That was my rabbit hole that my brain
See,
went
now in my
over.
100-year-old house, now I'm going to go for
Oh yeah, there's definitely something in that house.
I mean, so we do have so I have an old cellar door entrance to the basement. And when you come down like the steps from the cellar door, there's like an exterior door in my basement to like get to that. And every once in a while we'll find that door open.
Yeah, I know.
Even though it's like locked. And the weird thing is though, is like when we bought it, there were 4 like of those flip locks with a padlock on that door. And I had to cut them all off.
When you bought it?
When I bought it. I mean, come on, Julia has lived with me for so long.
I know.
It's a we.
It's just a we.
But yeah, no, there's like 3 or 4 of those like flip locks with padlocks on there, and I had to cut them off because that's the only way I can get like the washer and dryer and stuff in. And now it just kind of opens on its own.
I don't think I've ever actually gone into your basement because I've been afraid to. I think I might have peered down in there, but I'm...
Oh, yeah. No, my basement is straight up terrifying.
Yeah, you FaceTimed me while you were down there, and I was like, that's not a place I want to go. Thanks.
No.
Well, yeah, that's what I have for
nice job. I want to see if I have a secret room now. That'd be cool. Extra real estate.
Yeah, if you go on Reddit, there's hundreds and hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of stories of this kind of stuff. Like I spent hours going down this rabbit hole, and I'm like, no. So if anyone else wants to go down this rabbit hole with me, just go to Reddit, and there's a bajillion people that have found hidden things.
Or if you can add to the rabbit hole, tell us what you found in your attic basement, or if you found your own hidden room.
Yes. Oh my God, please tell me.
Nice. All right. Well, nice job.
Thanks.
Perfect. At least it's one I feel like I can still sleep easy afterwards.
I guess. I don't know. It just makes me weirded out. But anyway, yes, like Zach said, please share if you found weird things in your walls, in your house, trapdoors, secret rooms, anything weird, actually, just share it with us. We'd really appreciate it. Thanks for all your support and love. I know we already talked about it last time, but we can't believe we're over a year now. It's wild and we love you.
Insane.
But most importantly, creep it real, yeah, balls.
Goodbye.
Bye.